Governor Sanwo-Olu announces increment in bursary awards for indigents of Lagos State in tertiary institutions. African Development Bank approves $134 million for emergency food production in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, United States announces fresh sanctions on Zimbabwe leaders over alleged abuse. And in sports, Ofiong Edem settles for bronze to win Nigeria's first medal in African Games. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced increment in bursary awards for indigents of the state in tertiary institutions to 60,000 naira and scholarships to 225,000 naira. Governor Sanwo-Olu also appointed 4 former student union leaders, Eniola Okpeyemi, Kayode Samuel, Giwa Moore, and Adeola Adewumi, as senior special assistants. The governor stated this during an interactive session with the theme Students as Strategic Partners in the Governance Process, Challenges and Prospects for Youth Development, designed as part of his administration's commitment to carry youths along in line with its Themes Plus developmental agenda, capturing youth inclusion. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who reeled out various interventions and programs of his administration in the tertiary education sector, emphasized the need for collaborations to develop an ecosystem to build a solid student-university government relationship.
I think the woman wants to give what is also expected. This country needs you. This country believes in you. This country expects so much from you. You are our biggest. You are the hope our relying on to give the required human resource in the future and the indigenous generation that you need to do. You have to be a self-starter by yourself. You have to have a belief in yourself. You have to be your own first critic and say to yourself that no matter how many times I fall, I will rise up again.
Commissioner for Tertiary Education Tolani Sule, who acknowledged the commitment of the Sanwo-Olu administration towards implementation of quality education and new development in the tertiary education sector, pledged to sustain the legacy of excellence and continued dialogues with stakeholders to ensure industrial peace.
We will continue to sustain the legacy of excellence in all our institutions. While our ministry will continue to dialogue and collaborate with students and management of our various institutions so that the current and process of peace can be well sustained.
Lead speaker, former Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University, Olarewaju Fagbon, who emphasized the need for effective communication and constructive engagement, consultation and prioritization on the part of government and school management, urged students to achieve their goals by displaying positive attitudes and as well guard infrastructure provided in schools jealously.
We will continue to sustain the legacy of excellence in all our institutions. While our ministry will continue to dialogue and collaborate with students and management of our various institutions so that the current and process of peace can be well sustained.
Chairman, National Association of Nigerian Students, Lagos State, Lekan Alimi, commended the Sanwo-Olu administration for its efforts in the education sector and informed the government about notable campus programs that can be supported. Our correspondent Adeola Akindele reports that discussants at the event were unanimous in agreement that stakeholders in the tertiary education sector must work together with government to strengthen education in the state. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, DSVA, has organized a one-day training program with the theme Sexual and Gender-Based Violence, Existing State Laws and Policies, and exploring existing state structures for over 100 operatives of the Lagos Neighborhood and Safety Corps (LNSC), Kick Against Discipline (KAI), Peace Corps, and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC). Executive Secretary of DSVA Titilola Vaivo Adeni said the training aims to equip officers with the right tools and knowledge to act as first responders of SGBV in the state. Vaivo Adeni said sexual and gender-based violence is a globally pervasive human rights violation, adding that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has declared zero tolerance for all forms of the menace. Lagos State Government has urged eligible officers in the ongoing year 2024 promotion exercise to be prepared for more responsibilities that are expected to come with their anticipated promotion positions. The chairman, Civil Service Commission, Olubunmi Fabanwo, stated this at the opening ceremony of the physical sessions of the year 2024 promotion exercise tagged Revised Structured Training Program, emphasizing that promotions to higher grade levels come with a proportionate increase in responsibilities. Fabanwo urged the officers not to only aspire for career progression, but also to take cognizance of the added duties and obligations that accompany such advancement. She encouraged participants to utilize the training sessions as opportunities to hone their skills and acquire the necessary knowledge to excel in their prospective roles after promotion. And now to the rest of the stories. The African Development Bank Board of Directors, AFDB, has approved $134 million for Nigeria to implement an emergency food production plan. According to AFDB President Akan Usen, talks are also ongoing for a $1.7 billion economic and budget support loan, as well as the launch of a $1 billion agro-industrial processes in 28 states. Additional said the AFDB had pledged to support Nigeria through this period, noting that a number of agric initiatives should yield about 5 million metric tons of wheat, rice, cassava, maize this year for the country. The AFDB chief advised Nigeria to push for more food supply, pointing out that food inflation is a major component of the nation's inflation figure. The development came amid a biting food shortage that has led to hunger protests in Nigerian states and most recently attacks on grain warehouses in Abuja, Ogun, Niger, and Kaduna states. Mental health experts have urged the House of Representatives to maintain the ban on sachet and small bottled alcoholic drinks, stressing that studies show that high intake is linked to mental health problems, particularly among young people. The psychiatrist stressed that the availability of sachets and small bottled alcoholic drinks has more negative impact on mental health and said the ban is in the best interest of Nigerians. The House of Representatives had mandated its Committee on the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control to probe the circumstances surrounding the ban imposed on the production of beverages in sachets and small bottles in Nigeria. Reacting to the investigation by the lawmakers, the mental health experts said if the House of Representatives suspends the ban, it may lead to potential complications related to substance abuse and addiction. And now to foreign news. The United States has sanctioned Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa, his wife, and senior government officials for their alleged involvement in corruption and human rights abuses. The U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control announced the sanctions targeting 3 companies and 11 people, including the Mnangagwa's Vice President Constantino Chiwenga and retired Brigadier General Walter Tapomaneyi, after a review of the sanctions program that had been in place since 2003. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the new measures were part of a stronger, more targeted sanctions policy on Zimbabwe and voiced concerns over serious cases of corruption and human rights abuse. Anyway, from all that now, sports. Nigeria's Ofyong Edem became the first athlete to earn Nigeria a medal at the 13th African Games after finishing in top 3 in the women's singles event of the tournament taking place at the Accra International Conference Center. The Spain-based star player played her best matches in the last 16 and quarterfinal when she defeated Al-Hodabi twins Marwa and Miriam to join the league of medalists in the women's singles of the Games. Set up against defending champion Dina Meshrev of Egypt in the semi-final, Edem caved in with 4-0 defeat to settle for a bronze medal, just like she did at the 2019 edition in Rabat, Morocco. And just before we go, remember speed thrills but kills. Please avoid excessive speeding. You can follow us on all our various social media platforms on X, formerly Twitter, Traffic Radio 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration issued 54 workspace vouchers under the Workspace Voucher Program, which targets early-stage startups? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced an increment in bursary awards for indigenes of the state in tertiary institutions to 60,000 naira and scholarships to 225,000 naira. The African Development Bank Board of Directors, AFDB, has approved $134 million for Nigeria to implement an emergency food production plan. We also told you that the United States has sanctioned Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa, his wife, and senior government officials for their alleged involvement in corruption and human rights abuses. And in sports, Nigeria's Ofyong Edem became the first athlete to earn Nigeria a medal at the 13th African Games after finishing in top 3 in the women's singles event of the tournament taking place at the Accra International Conference Center. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagostate.gov.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adeswa Ejoyoka. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.